Hi, my name is Derrick and I am bringing you this week's TCWC Moment. If you have been a part of our TCWC Moments for the first half of this year, then you probably have already seen me and you've heard my story of what I'm doing this year to kind of help better my life, to change my life, and that is to read books. And for those of you who know me, know that I do not like to read, but it is something that I'm learning. I'm learning how to read all over again, basically. And I'm learning how to enjoy it. And I've actually enjoyed my time of reading. And I've already read 2 books this year. I'm on to my 3rd one. And this one, I feel like God has taken a piece of this book and shown me something. And I wanted to share it with you because maybe you can find some value in it as well. But basically, this book is called The Way of the Warrior by Erwin McManus. And he's talking about the ways to find inner peace in our times of trouble and need. And this particular story that I'm going to tell you about is he was going to go and have a major surgery. He found out that he had cancer and it was eating up a lot of his cells and it was hurting him badly. So he had to go in and have a surgery. And in this, he talks about it was supposed to have been a 3-hour surgery. It ended up being 6. They had to puncture 6 holes in his abdomen in order for this machine called Da Vinci to go through and clear out all the cancer cells, but to leave his healthy organs intact. And I tell you that to tell you this, it's a major surgery, okay? And it kind of sets up the next part because the title of this section is called To Stand in Your Pain. And basically what he tells you about is that he's getting up after recovery. And they put him in the recovery room, he's asleep or whatnot, and then he wakes up and he tells his wife, hey, I'm ready to get up. I'm ready to start this rehabilitation process. And that's where it kind of resonated with me already, is that that's the way I am. I hate to sit down, I hate to be sitting still, I am a go person. And his wife says, that's a terrible idea, you just got out of a major surgery, you need to stay in bed. And that also hits home. My wife is the level-headed one. She is the one that says, Derrick, that's a terrible idea. Let's don't do that. But however, there's a lot of us men that are hard-headed and we go and do what we want anyway. So it picks up here and the wife's telling him no. They bring the nurse in. The nurse is telling him no. And basically he goes, what harm can I do at this point now that has not already been done? I just need to get up and walk. And so the nurse finally, says, okay, well, listen, if you walk, that's fine, but it's going to be terribly painful. Let me give you some painkillers. And he said, in all level-headedness, he said, that's the point. He said, I need to be able to walk through this pain. That way I can feel the pain, because anything that happens after this in the rehab process is going to be less than this, and I will be able to handle it. He said, so I need to be able to do this. And that's where he picks up, and I wanted to read this part to you, is because he says, the first step was unbearable. The 2nd step, even more. The 3rd and the 4th steps were unrelenting. The 5th and the 6th steps were unforgiving. I wish I could tell you that God somehow intervened in that moment and made me oblivious to the pain. But if anything, the gift that God gave me was to make me even more aware of it. I stood in the middle of my pain. I stepped into my pain. I walked through my pain. You see, the one thing that I was certain of was that on the other side of this pain awaited my freedom. And then he says, so many of us see pain as boundaries in our limitations. We experience pain, and that's when we choose to stop. We have confused knowing peace with becoming prisoners. And the way of peace is not without pain. The way of peace comes only by walking through the pain. And I started thinking about that, and I started thinking about my life, and I started thinking about the friends that we've lost, the family members we've lost, the turmoil that we've been through, the pain that we have experienced as now adults, and even, some as children. We look back and see the pain that happened in our past. But I start thinking about that, and then I start thinking about some of the things that hit home now. I work at a gym. I'm a personal trainer. And so I go to the gym and I try to help people out, and they're like, man, my legs are so sore after last night that I can't function. I felt like I couldn't get out of bed. But the one thing I do know about, the muscles is that you stand up, you walk, you keep going, and that'll break the soreness up, and it'll help you to continue to move, and you will grow stronger with every step that you take. And that just really encouraged me to know that sometimes God puts us in these situations, and a lot of times God puts us in these situations and He says, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to handle this for you, but I need you to have faith in me. I need you to get up and I need you to walk. And I think about the man that was laying by the pool that could never get to the pool and to have that healing. And then finally Jesus walks in and he says, hey, look, I've already taken care of that. Stand up and walk. And that is ultimately what God wants us to do. God doesn't want us to sit back. God doesn't want us to lay down by the pool and say, woe is me. God wants us to get up and walk in our faith and push forward and step through the pain and go to the greatness that God has for us. I love you guys. I can't wait to see how God works in your life, and I can't wait to see how these TCWC moments bless you. We love you guys. Thank you and have a great week.